What's up, people? I'm gonna hit y'all with something real fast, man. First, let me go ahead and get the disclaimer out of the way. Alright, so my content is for educational purposes only. Can't stress enough you guys do your own research. Find any issues with my content or any, information that I dispense on this channel, please put it in the comments. And I have no problems with correcting it because none of us have been alive long enough to know all that transpired in the past, and none of us can live long enough to know all there is to learn. Alright, listen. I'm going to read y'all a passage out of a book by the name of The Redemption Manual. Alright. It's a conversation that supposedly it's a conversation between President, let me see, hold on. Well, it's a conversation, hold on. Okay, Franklin Delano Roosevelt had with Woodrow Wilson sometime between 1913 and 1921. And it goes as follows. It says, very soon, every American will be required to register their biological property in a national system designed to keep track of the people and that will operate under the ancient system of pledging. By such methodology, we can compel people to submit to our agenda, which will affect our security as a chargeback for our fiat paper currency. Every American will be forced to register or suffer being able to work and earn a living. They will be our chattel, and we will hold the security interest over them forever by operation of the law merchant under the scheme of secured transactions. Americans, by unknowingly or unwittingly delivering the bills of lading to us, will be rendered bankrupt and insolvent, forever to remain economic slaves through taxation secured by their pledges. They will be stripped of their rights and given a commercial value designed to make us a profit, and they will be none the wiser. For not one in a million could ever figure our plans, and if by accident one or two should figure it out, we have in our arsenal plausible deniability. After all, this is the only logical way to fund government, by floating liens and debt to the registrants in the form of benefits and privileges. This will inevitably reap us huge profits beyond our wildest expectations and leave every American a contributor to this fraud, which we will call social insurance. Without realizing it, every American will insure us for any loss we may incur, and in this manner, every American will unknowingly be our servant, however begrudgingly. The people will become hopeless, and without any hope for their redemption, the people will become helpless, and without any hope for their redemption, and we will employ the high office of the president of our dummy corporation to foment this plot against America. Okay? The Redemption Manual. Yeah. Let me see. I don't think, no. Yeah, this is it's by R.V. R as in Ralph, V as in Vaughn, Bey, B-E-Y, publications.com. The Redemption Manual. I'm going to hold the, because you can actually look that up and find it. They got like 5 editions out now. I think they're up to like the 5th edition. But that takes me to a video that Dr. Phil Valentine put out, relevant to status correction, knowing the law, and it's deep because it correlates with what I just read to you guys. First, man, let me just, give y'all some strong book references. I feel the need to share this with y'all, because in order for you to do some of this research, there's some books that you must have. The first one, and you guys have seen this one before, but I show this because what it say right there, Article 9, Secure Transactions, Uniform Commercial Code. I can't stress enough, man. Y'all gotta do your research, man. You got to do your research. All right. Here's another book, and it's actually a set, but this is just one. The United States Code. This happens to be Title 26, and you see what it deals with. Internal Revenue Code. These are some things that you just, if you really want to be free, there's certain things you gotta learn, man. I'm just showing you some of these books, man. And this ain't nothing, but Delaware Code Annotated, Title 6, Commerce and Trade. This is a big one right here. You got to learn about contracts. Okay? You gotta learn. I'm gonna show it so that way y'all can, let me see which way I need to hold it up. No, this way. Examples and explanations. Okay? Look, it gets into all of these topics right here. All right. And then you have the Black's Law Dictionary, the 3rd edition. So yeah, man, it's very important, man, that you get into researching certain things, man, because you can't depend on lawyers, man. They're not going, they're part of the governmental structure. You got to understand this. They are not going to give you what you need to secure your freedom. And what does that equate to? Your freedom? Getting to the private side of the governmental ledger, the private side of the government. You see what I'm saying? And, private versus public, there's books on that. It's just, I feel like it's very important, man, because you got to understand that, when you went to school as an adolescent, it says into the republic. Okay. You got to know about when that was changed to a democracy and by what processes they employed to do so. You know, I have other videos on the channel, man, where it breaks down exactly when and how that happened. You know, History 101. Yeah. So, but briefly, I'm going to read through some of the notes that I took from the video that Dr. Phil Valentine has circulating on, YouTube. I believe the actual title is The Importance of Knowing the Law / Status Correction. I believe it's two parts. It's one that's like 40 some odd minutes, and then you got another one that's an hour and some odd minutes. But basically I'm gonna break it down according to the understanding that I have from watching that video. Well, I'm not done because I'm taking notes because I've actually already started the process, and I got documents, that are, that's for another video. I'll get into that, on another time. But basically, he was talking about in the video that the United States is actually a corporation. The United States and America are two separate things. The United States is a corporation. America is the name given to this landmass, Amerigo Vespucci. If you know, you know. Okay. I'm just gonna get into the basic breakdown, man, because I realize that a lot of people, don't read up on research or study law. So I'm gonna just go ahead and break down, some of the things as far as the notes that I took from that video, and I'll expound on anything I feel as though needs expounding upon. Okay. As a human, you're a spirit, and that's a part of God. Okay. Whatever you choose to call the supreme being, the creator. Okay. That's another video in and of itself as well, but I'm just going to give you the basic breakdown. And that is, greater than what has been created. I said that in one of my first videos. If God created man and man created government, man is greater than that which has been created. All right, so everybody that's familiar with, the Social Security card and the birth certificate, the birth certificate being a bond, and it's also referred to as a cestui trust, and that's relative to the corporate construct that they created with the same name that looked like your name. It's just in all capital letters. That is what they refer to as the straw man. And the fraud in it is that it looks just like the name your mother gave you, your mother or your father or whatever they both decided was going to be your name. But it is another person. In a legal dictionary, you can look it up. Just like vessel. A vessel is a person. A corporate entity is classified as a person in the legal dictionary. So you got to understand, the tricknology in the words. It's really not tricknology because all of these things are basically public information. And like they say, ignorance of the law is not an excuse nor defense. They expect you to know the law even though they don't teach you the law. How ironic. So, all right. Um, okay. The reason why they created the Sestaquake Trust is so that they can move against your body, the you, not the corporate. And they don't tell you that that's not you, you know, because once you take ownership of that Social Security card, you know, it's like a dual capacity. Yeah, you're you, but having that card, especially putting your signature on it, you know, I'll get into it. Okay, so it says your signature on the Social Security card makes you a signatory and a person slash entity who takes liability for the corporate structure under your name. So when you put your name on there, when you sign your name on that Social Security card next to the corporate construct, which is the all caps representation of your name, you're actually, you know, taking liability for any debts that the corporate structure incurs. Okay. It says the all caps name is the straw man, the fiction, the corporate structure that the United States, who is another corporation, is using to move against your person, your physical body. Okay? And you've given them permission to move against your body by putting your signature on the Social Security card, which signifies that if I just sign it, I'm saying that I am that corporate structure, that corporate entity, that straw man, that fiction, and that is what I'm taking liability for. Okay, I'm gonna go back to what I just read to y'all. Okay, that is where it says secured by their pledges. Okay, if you anybody that has been paying any kind of attention, this is why they have you registered for everything. When you register for a thing, you know, you're doing it on your own free will and under your own power. So you're consenting. You're essentially consenting to taking on the liability for the corporate structure that they created under your name. And again, for the old heads or people that were around, before they changed the structure of the birth certificate, they had where the mother signed, it used to say informant. It's a history into that as well. But, I don't want to make this too long. I just want to get this to y'all. For those that have been hearing about this or have previously heard about it, I want to, break it down a little bit deeper for the layman, to understand what's really going on, okay. Okay, you being human and of God is greater than that which has been created, and that is inanimate. It's just a piece of paper, but it takes on its own identity, because of certain operations at law that they've employed to ensnare you into their jurisdiction and to have power over the body, the physical body. This is how they can tell you, you whooped that child's ass, now you going to jail, because you become a subject. It gets deeper though. you become a subject of the corporation, the United States Corporation. All right. Um, what is it? It says the United States is not a country, it's a corporate structure. For you to become part of it, i.e., the artificial structure known as a corporation, you had to be created into someone else's image and likeness. Now that's how the biblical situation comes into play. If you remember, it was always church and state. I used to always wonder why. Okay. When you refer to Jesus, you're talking about their God. Okay. All right. Therefore, you're coming under his jurisdiction, i.e., the corporate structure is analogous to a church. If you want to come and worship at this church, you do so under your own power, i.e., your own consent. No one forced you, in other words, okay? But once you do that, here's what that God wants from you in order for you to get favors and or privileges from that God. This is why in a previous video, I believe I stated that God stood for Governmental Ordinance Department. In this respect, it does. Okay? You know? It says, what it say? Let's say, it says every American will be forced to register. You see what I'm saying? This is why they got the Uniform Commercial Code in play. This is why when you apply for a job, they give you the tax form, which will automatically signify that you are a federal employee, which makes your wages taxable. It's deep, y'all. I'm telling you. And you know, it takes. You gotta. I understand why the elder, Brother Valentine, say, don't think you can call and get us to do all your work for you. Nah, you got to do your own research. Trust me, man. Like I done put paper into this situation. That's how I have a library, a law library, because you can't expect, nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody can do it for you. Because at the end of the day, you have to represent yourself in them courtrooms. You have to learn how to stand on your square, You have to learn how the language changes and how you have to speak. It's a lot that goes into it. Okay. Okay. This is why they had to create the straw man. It's what they use to move against you. Once you put your name on the Social Security card that was created via the birth certificate, you're now a signatory / entity / person who takes the liability for the corporation that was structured in your name, like I said a minute ago. So now that your name, know that your name, whenever it appears in all caps, that's the fiction. Straw man corporate structure that the United States, which is another corporation, is using to move against your physical body. And you, by signing the Social Security card, have given them permission to move against you, i.e., putting your signature next to the name, next to the all caps name on the Social Security card signifies, like I said earlier, like the elder said, I'm just breaking it down. I am that, and that is what I'm going to take liability for. Okay? Okay. Another reason why the UCC book is important for you to have is because it details how all crimes are commercial. And, that ain't the only book you're going to need if you want to go down this rabbit hole, but at the end of the day, man, it's the only way to secure, your freedom, and not be bound, by something that you didn't knowingly, willingly, and or intentionally contract into. You didn't, enter into commercial intercourse under your own power with this. You were born into it, and that's why that contract book is important, because you need to know what the elements are that makes a contract legally binding, and what makes it null and void or just plain void. Okay. He went on to say, all crimes are commercial and all courts run in conformity with 27 CFR 72 decimal point 11. That's another set. I just put my order in today. Because it's you gotta have. I have it. I've printed it out, but in order to really be able to get into the get down, you gotta have a book. It's better to have a book. And he also went on to say that all activity in the courts are commercial business. You understand? This is why every time you go to court, it's a monetary or fiduciary value that they're looking to receive from you, or that you become obliged to pay. He says there is no law, there is nothing else but commercial law, i.e. the Uniform Commercial Code. The judges and prosecutors make commercial presentments, which are essentially indictments, so that so that your exemption priority account can be tapped into by what they say you've committed as a crime. Okay? And they make these presentments to gain egress or access, because egress just means access to your vessel, to take the worth of your ship, the money that's in the account that's on the back of your Social Security card. Okay? This is why they've, this is why they move with the law of the sea. He goes into depth about that on the video. If y'all haven't seen that video, man, I urge y'all to watch it. And, whatever you got to do to gain the proper understanding of what it is that he's saying, because he's giving you a lot of game. He's giving you the blueprint you know, but he's not going to do it for you, you know. But he giving you all the information you need to know. Let me get through this. Okay. Your signature on any governmental document or on any government document makes you a fiduciary trustee of the straw man or the Sestaquay Trust. These are terms you got. When you hear these terms, man, look them up. Fiduciary trustee. All right. In this capacity, you are charged with the responsibility to discharge all of his debts by operation of the law. Whatever it is that the statutes say the straw man can be charged with a crime of. And that's pretty much where I ended off with my notes, but, you know, 1 second. See, it's a little deeper with me. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, let me see, let me make sure I ain't showing you guys. Okay. Yeah, this is some of the documentation that I have. I typed it myself, did all that shit myself. I'm gonna just, you know, briefly show y'all some things. You know, I showed y'all the first one. Okay. Some of the things, man, you know, it's you know. Okay, now, what I gotta do is, let me see, go ahead and put my finger over this, and that, okay. Couple things, man. You know, where is this? Okay. Make sure I ain't got. Okay, I know what I gotta put my finger on this time. Bam. Alright. Okay. Security agreement. Okay. Yes, it has the backside as well. You know, this is you know, in order for you to draft your own documents, man, you got to know what's in them books. You got to know how to put that shit together. You know, you ain't gonna find no lawyer that's gonna even approach this. If they do know, they're gonna act like they don't know what the fuck you talking about and make you think that you're crazy as hell. Either that or they gonna get the fuck out your way. You know. Yeah, it you know, it gets into a lot of things, man. You know. Damn. You know. Bam. Bam. Get it. I'm just showing y'all, man, because the shit's real. The shit's real. You know? Shit's real. You know, this is all the security agreement here. That's all. This is just the security agreement, you know? Again, the security agreement. See, my shit's stamped and everything. It's not no game. It's definitely, official. Now you have the indemnity bond. Let me make sure I ain't showing, I don't want to put no information up that I ain't got no business putting up for y'all. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, this is another document. I don't want to, it's going to be hard for me to put my finger over it. So, here's the back page of it. I ain't just going to put my shit out there, Now, this is the data sheet for the power of attorney, Okay. Let me see. Yeah. This bam, bam. And, I got the information chart for the bill of exchange, laying out all the documentations. I ain't going to show y'all the front side, but y'all can see that this information on there, personal information. All right. Then, my identifiers or whatnot for that previous sheet. Okay. Let me see if I can just. Okay, this is another document, that goes with, some of the shit that I filed, that you gotta file, where's it at? Make sure I ain't got my shit on there. Okay. Okay. And this is the bill of exchange. Bill of exchange. Another data sheet. And I gotta put my finger on this. Okay, this is what the long form birth certificate of live birth looks like. For those of you who've never seen one. Here's some other documents, Now here's the bond, and I'm pretty sure, let me see, damn, I can't really get into showing y'all this one either, but let me see, I can't see shit through it. Where is it at? It's on here too many times. I can't really. Let me see. I think I can. think I can cover it up. Let me try to get it covered up. Let me see where it's at. Give me a second, y'all. Work with me. I just ain't wanna, go through. Okay, here it is. Okay, so, bam. Yeah. Yeah. And if y'all don't know what this is a UCC 1. You gotta, this shit ain't no game, man. You gotta get into your shit and know what you're doing. That's pretty much it. Let me see. Common law copyright. Okay, bam. Where's it at? Let me make sure. I don't wanna, where's it at? Make sure that my Social Security card number is not visible, so make sure my shit is not visible, so bam, there you go. Common law copyright. Where's it at? Notarized, everything's okay. Now this is the Indemnity Agreement. Okay. It's only up there one time, so this is just another document that's notarized. It is what it is, but I only showed y'all that, man, because trust me, it's deeper than motherfucker just being on here talking, and don't you think for one second that they don't know what this shit's all about. They know what it is, but it's up, the thing is, you gotta know what it is. So thank you for anybody that held on this long, in the video, for me to, just get that to y'all, man, because it's bigger than, all the distractions that they got laid out, for you to pay attention to and be distracted and taken away from things that's important, because we prisoners of war, man. We was born into it. It's a lot of things, man, that we place our time and attention into. Don't get me wrong, live, but at the end of the day, set aside a little bit of time, man, so you can focus on things that's going to really empower you and give you a taste of what real freedom is like. With that being said, man, I'm just hoping that the little breakdown that I gave you, it's surface level shit, man, but a lot of people I noticed, man, that people I've had conversations with about this type of stuff, man, they like they look at it like it's a game, and or that it's like oh, that's, they just talking or whatever the case. Nah, the shit's real. It's definitely real. And The thing is that I want to leave y'all with is, you got to understand, man, that there's things, around the corner, you know, that, ain't nobody saying that some paperwork will save you. I ain't saying that. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of benefits that come along with, being in the proper status and standing as it relates to law and or commerce. Being a secure party creditor as opposed to a debtor. You got to look those legal terms up and see how it applies, you know, to whomever falls in whatever category, which either one of those categories. I would much rather be a creditor than a debtor, you know. But with that being said, man, we all got free will. We're going to do what we choose. I ain't here to try to tell nobody how to live life, but I'm just saying that, man, it's bigger than, going to this club and that club and going to this game and that game, this show, that show, you know, and a lot of the superficial things that we've been caught up in, and some of us are still caught up in, so, I just hope that somebody was able to extract some kind of benefit from, this presentation, of information, and y'all be easy. I'm gone.